Dr. Keogh from CDC. This is Dr. Aronson and Dr. Ruiz.
This Cedar Creek is a small town, Doctor. We're like a family. Everybody's scared. I don't know what to tell them.
I know, and we're here to help you in any way we can. So from now on, I'll be in charge.
I thought he was in charge.
Dustin Hoffman and Rene Russo play scientists in a life-and-death struggle with a killer plague virus. In Outbreak, one of 5 new movies we'll review this week on Siskel and Ebert. We'll also look at Halle Berry and Jessica Lange in Losing Isaiah, Matthew Modine in Bye Bye Love, and the sequel to Candyman. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune, and our first film is Outbreak. And here's a picture with a big star that's drawing big crowds, and I thought he, Dustin Hoffman, and the story were often ridiculous. In the picture, Hoffman plays an Army colonel involved in disease control, and he and 2 assistants go to Zaire to investigate a plague. I think Dustin Hoffman in his spacesuit looks like he just walked in from a Woody Allen comedy.
Keep your helmet on! No! Come on, let's both of them start pitching! Damn it! Isolate him! Isolate him!
Another cornball element in the story is that Dustin Hoffman is still involved with his ex-wife, played improbably by the bombshell Rene Russo.
Once in your life, take a chance.
You know what, Sam? I did. I married you.
You hung up, didn't you? First it was the dogs, now we're fighting over a virus. I can't believe it.
As the disease spreads to the United States, we meet 2 high-ranking officers. One good, Morgan Freeman, one bad, Donald Sutherland, who is willing to blow up a California town to save the rest of the country.
I have a presidential green light on Operation Clean Sweep, and I am going forward.
And then there's the laughable conclusion, a helicopter battle over disease containment.
See that bridge up ahead, Colonel?
Yeah.
Over or under, sir?
Why don't you decide? I'm really not up to it.
Hang on.
Oh, I would have said over.
Wires, 2 is off left.
What can I do, sir?
Stay on, I'm getting him out of the air.
Now, I'm sure the filmmakers felt that they had to make a traditional action picture out of this material because they thought mainstream audiences wouldn't go for the excitement of science. But it's all so silly. I didn't think Dustin Hoffman was the least bit credible as an Army colonel. Rene Russo belongs more with Mel Gibson, as she was in Lethal Weapon 3. Hey, I didn't like much of anything about Outbreak.
You sure didn't. You must have had a bad day when you saw this movie.
No,
I thought it
saw
was terrific entertainment. It really is. And it's very smart at the beginning. You're wrong to say they don't think people are interested in science because the first hour and 10 minutes has all to do with science, and it's fascinating, including that really interesting tour of the microbiological lab and the way they have different containment areas.
In the beginning, then why do they have to come up with the backstory of him and his wife, Roger? Didn't you think that was kind of silly?
I thought it was pretty well written, actually. And, you know, Rene Russo, to call her a bombshell is kind of insulting. She's a very attractive, mature, smart woman, and I thought she made a good partner for Hoffman. I also
in other words, you thought that was a credible relationship between the two of them?
Why not? Why not? Why not? They're both involved in the same academic field, of course. And why wouldn't an Army colonel look like Dustin Hoffman if his area was containing viruses? He shouldn't look like John Wayne. I mean, he spends all of his time looking through a microscope. And I've got another question for you. How should somebody look in one of those suits?
There was only one person that I laughed at. The variable was not the suit. The variable was Dustin Hoffman.
Well, why in the world shouldn't Dustin Hoffman be able to...
He looks like Benjamin Braddock in the suit. He looks ridiculous.
I was going to try to get that out of you. I knew that's the identification you were making, and it's not fair to this movie.
Why? It is absolutely fair. That's my reaction to it.
I think if the guy has to put on the suit, let him put on the suit. When he stands inside of it, that's the way he looks.
But he looks silly. Dustin Hoffman has a whole different...
silly to you. I think you're the only person in America...
Hey, what am I supposed to do? Say he looks give reviews of what you think of the picture? I give it a review of what I think.
That would be a start. Okay, next movie. And our next movie is Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh, the sequel to the 1992 film that I thought was interesting in the way it dealt with the urban legend of a boogeyman. Again, this time, the central figure is a mysterious slasher with a hook for a hand. In the earlier film, he prowled a Chicago housing project, but now he appears in New Orleans, where a school teacher, played by Kelly Rowan, has already had 2 family tragedies linked to the Candyman, and now is disturbed to find a young student drawing the sinister figure.
It's the Candyman. They killed him.
The teacher's father was killed Candyman style, and later her brother was charged with another Candyman murder. She turns to her mother, who may be harboring deep secrets from the past.
There is no Candyman. He does not exist.
And, of course, the movie uses Mardi Gras as its inevitable backdrop. Now, that actor playing the Candyman there, Tony Todd, also starred in the first film, but this time, oddly enough, because he has a certain resemblance to O.J. Simpson, the movie sets up an eerie resonance in some scenes that maybe it didn't really intend. Later in the film, as we learn the Candyman's history, we see he's a tragic figure driven by racism and torture into his violent destiny. But the movie takes a long time to get around to that explanation, and most of the film is standard slasher stuff with the usual scary false alarms. Oh, it's only a cat. Oh, it's only a raven. And a soundtrack jammed with overwrought shock effects. The first movie, I thought, was more thoughtful. This one takes an exploitation approach. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either, just the same way. I had the same reaction, Roger. I mean, when you know the setup, you know that they're walking this way, that probably the surprise is going to come from the right side of the screen, so you're sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
We've been through this turf an awful lot before. To drag in the slavery times issue to bring it back seems like they're really reaching for something. It just feels like it's two different kinds of pictures.
What they're trying to do is they're cognizant of the fact that they have a tall black male as a slasher figure, and that's politically loaded. So the last 20 minutes of the movie is an explanation about how white racism drove him to this, and it's kind of like, you know, if we throw in this ending, then maybe we can have the rest of the film.
Exactly.
Now, I'm not sure that they were that cynical, but that's the way it plays.
That's the way it does play.